hocus. There is a shift happening in the atmosphere right now, and if you are listening to this, it is because your spirit has already detected it. You have felt it in the quiet moments of your morning, or perhaps in the restless turning of your sleep at 3 a.m. It is a sensation that something is about to break, that the stagnation you have endured for years is cracking under the weight of a new season. You are not imagining this. This is not wishful thinking. This is a divine appointment. But before the physical manifestation of wealth and abundance arrives in your hands, God is doing something far more critical. He is preparing the vessel. You see, when Jesus walked this earth, he showed us a pattern of how heaven handles elevation. It is never chaotic, it is never accidental, and most importantly, it is rarely loud at the beginning. Attention, you need to prepare now. I put together an exclusive resource for those who feel set apart for something greater, but live surrounded by noise, distractions, and mental overload. This is a 30-day journey that will transform your life. A guided path to armor your mind and prepare for what's coming with daily practices of focus, boundaries, and discipline. Stop negotiating with the noise. Learn to spot distractions before they control you, and strengthen your mind. Also available in an immersive audio version. Over 10 Zuzazara readers have already transformed their lives through the 30-day journey. Thousands of people have already started this transformation. People like you who are tired of living in the fog. Ordinary people who decided to stop accepting mental chaos. Take advantage of this limited time offer only this month. Access your link just below in the pinned comment. We live in a world that celebrates the noise of success, the viral post, the sudden lottery win, the flash of luxury. But the blessings that are ordained by God to last for generations do not arrive with thunder. They arrive with the quiet, steady, unstoppable power of a sunrise. The sun does not scream when it rises, yet it commands the attention of the entire world. That is where you are right now. You are in the pre-dawn hours, and God is about to prove why he chose you, and specifically you, to carry this next level of abundance. But here is the warning that most people ignore, leading them to fumble the bag before they even open it. The first act of God, when he is about to make you rich, is not a celebration. It is a quiet instruction. Before I reveal exactly what this instruction is and how failing it has cost millions of people their destiny, I need you to understand the nature of the wealth coming your way. True wealth in the kingdom context is not just numbers in a bank account. It is a sacred mantle of responsibility. It is resources coupled with assignment. If you have been praying for financial freedom, for the ability to pay off that mortgage, to help your children, to retire your parents, understand that you are not just asking for money. You are asking for a tool to execute a mission, and because the stakes are so high, the testing is rigorous. The delay you have felt, the frustration of watching others who are less qualified, less ethical, and less kind than you get ahead. That was not rejection, that was preservation. A tree that grows too fast snaps in the first storm. Your roots had to go deep into the soil of character so that when the fruit of wealth finally comes, the weight of it doesn't topple you. Now let's talk about the first and most dangerous test you will face the moment the breakthrough begins. It is the test of silence. There is a profound psychological and spiritual reason why Jesus, after performing miracles, often told the recipients, "Tell no one." Have you ever wondered why? Why hide the glory? It is because premature exposure attracts premature warfare. When God begins to pour financial increase into your life, the human instinct is to validate yourself. You want to run to the people who doubted you, the family members who made snide comments at Thanksgiving, the old friends who left you out of the group chat, and you want to show them. You want to say, "Look, I made it." But listen closely, because this could save your future. Silence is your strategy. When you announce your harvest before it is fully gathered, you invite the birds of the air to come and steal the seed. There is a specific type of energy that is dissipated when you talk too much. Psychologically, when you tell someone your plans or brag about your early wins, your brain releases dopamine. You get the reward of the accomplishment without actually finishing the work. You feel successful just by talking about it. This robs you of the drive to actually complete the mission. Spiritually, it is even more serious. In the story of Joseph, he had a dream of greatness. But what got him thrown into a pit? He spoke about the dream to brothers who did not have the capacity to understand it. Your vision is for you. The provision is for you. When you get rich, the first proof that you are ready is your ability to keep your mouth shut and your spirit humble. I want you to pause for a second and think about the last time you shared a big idea or a small win with someone, and you felt the energy shift. Maybe they gave you a blank stare or a sarcastic, "must be nice." That feeling in your gut, that was your discernment warning you. God is about to separate you from environments that cannot hold your destiny, and this process can be painful. As your abundance increases, your circle will likely decrease. This is not something to mourn. It is something to accept as necessary. We often call this the crab bucket effect. When one crab tries to climb out of the bucket, the others pull it back down. They don't pull it down because they want to escape. They pull it down because they want to keep it at their level. When God chooses you for wealth, He is choosing you to climb out of the bucket. And the moment you start rising, you will feel the tug of old relationships, old habits, and old mindsets trying to anchor you to the bottom. This brings us to a crucial realization about the people around you. You have to understand that your growth makes some people uncomfortable, not because you're doing anything wrong, but because your light exposes their lack of discipline. Your breakthrough is a mirror reflecting their stagnation. So when the money starts coming in, when the business takes off, when the promotion is signed, do not expect applause from the people who are comfortable with your struggle. In fact, expect silence from them. And in that silence, you must find your strength in God, not in their approval. If you need their validation to feel successful, you are not ready for the wealth God has for you. This is why the season of hiddenness is so important. God hides you before He highlights you. Before we go deeper into how to handle the imposter syndrome that attacks when you finally get rich, I want to challenge you. If you are ready to accept the responsibility of this wealth and walk in the wisdom of silence, take a moment right now to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. We are building a community of people who are serious about spiritual and personal elevation. By clicking that button, you're signaling to yourself and the algorithm that you are ready for high-level wisdom. And if this message is resonating with your spirit, hit the like button so we can spread this truth to others who are waiting for their breakthrough. Now let's address the internal battle. You might be thinking, but why me? I've made so many mistakes. I'm not perfect. This is where the beauty of God's choice shines the brightest. God does not call the qualified, He qualifies the called. The wealth coming to you is not a reward for being perfect. It is a resource for being willing. However, money is a magnifier. This is a concept you must tattoo on your subconscious. Money does not change you, it reveals you. If you are generous and kind with $10, you will be a philanthropist with 10 million. But if you are stingy, anxious, and arrogant with a little, money will only make you a loud, rich tyrant. This is why God has kept you in the waiting room. He has been performing surgery on your character. Think about the delays you have suffered, the job you didn't get, the investment that failed 5 years ago. At the time, it felt like a curse, but looking back, can you see how it protected you? If you had received this level of wealth 10 years ago, would you have had the wisdom to manage it, or would it have destroyed you? Would you have lost your family? Would you have fallen into addiction? The delay was the divine braking system preventing a crash. But now the lights are turning green, the constraints are lifting, and the command is to anchor this new abundance in wisdom, not announce it with pride. There is a powerful spiritual principle called the table in the presence of enemies. Psalm 23 says, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies." Notice the preposition. It is in the presence of, not for the approval of. You do not need to invite your enemies to the table. You do not need to explain the menu to them. You just need to eat. You need to be nourished. Your vindication is not in your words. It is in your wellness. It is in your peace. It is in the fact that you are thriving despite everything they said and did. When you get rich, the greatest revenge is not destruction. It is massive success enjoyed in quiet dignity. As this wealth manifests, you will face a temptation that has toppled kings. The temptation to upgrade your lifestyle before you upgrade your stewardship. The world tells you that rich means a better car, a bigger house, and designer clothes immediately. But wisdom teaches that the first thing you do with a harvest is plant a portion of it for the next season. The first proof that you are God's chosen steward is that you don't eat all your seed. You secure the future. This requires a level of discipline that is rare in our consumer culture. It means staying in the smaller house a little longer while you buy the rental property. It means driving the old car while you fund the trust for your children. It means looking broke to the world while you are becoming wealthy in reality. This is the secret behavior of the truly chosen. They play the long game. And here is where the supernatural power kicks in. Secret generosity. Jesus taught clearly, when you give, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Why? Because public giving is a transaction. You give money, you get applause. The transaction is complete. You have your reward. But secret giving, that is an investment in the spiritual realm. When nobody sees you help that stranger, when nobody knows you paid that widow's bill, God sees. And he who sees in secret rewards openly. This is how you keep the flow of abundance open. You become a conduit, not a reservoir. Water that sits still becomes stagnant and toxic. Water that flows stays fresh and full of life. When you get rich, your job is to keep the river moving. The next revelation can change your entire perspective on your past struggles. Have you ever noticed that the people who are trusted with the most are often tested the hardest? If your life has been a series of uphill battles, it is because your destination is higher than the average person. You don't train for a marathon by walking to the mailbox. You train by running until your lungs burn. Your spiritual burning was the training ground for this financial weight. God was building your spiritual muscle density. So when the money comes, don't look at it as a chance to finally relax and do nothing. Look at it as the resources arriving for the work you were born to do. But be careful. With resources come counterfeit connections. As you rise, people will appear who look like friends, sound like partners, and act like supporters. But their hearts are far from you. How do you discern them? You watch how they handle your no. A true friend respects your boundaries. A parasite gets angry when you stop feeding it. You will have to learn the holy art of saying no. You cannot save everyone. You are not the Messiah. You are a steward. If you try to carry everyone who asks for help, you will sink the boat, and then nobody gets saved. You must listen to the Holy Spirit on who to help and how. Sometimes giving money to someone is enabling their dysfunction, not helping their destiny. That requires discernment, which only comes from a close walk with God. I want to speak to the person who feels like they are running out of time. You are over 35, maybe over 40 or 50, and you feel like you missed your prime. Listen to me. God lives outside of time. He can redeem the years the locusts have eaten. In 1 year of divine favor, God can accomplish what takes 20 years of human labor. You are not late. You are right on schedule. The wealth that comes later in life is often sweeter because it is seasoned with wisdom. You know who you are now. You know what matters. You aren't chasing the wind anymore. You are building a legacy. Let's go back to the concept of the quiet instruction. What is God whispering to you right now? Before the check clears, before the contract is signed, there is usually a nudge. Maybe it's to clean up your credit. Maybe it's to forgive an old grudge so your heart is clear. Maybe it's to start that small business on the side. Do not despise the day of small beginnings. That small obedience is the key that unlocks the big vault. Many people are waiting for God to move, but God is waiting for them to move. He is waiting for you to take that first step of faith. Imagine this scenario. You are standing at the edge of a vast field. It's your field. For years it has looked barren, but underneath the soil, the seeds you planted in tears, the prayers, the sacrifices, the nights of working while others slept, are about to break the surface. When they do, it will happen fast. It will be overwhelming. And in that moment, you must remember this video. You must remember that you were warned to stay humble. You were warned to stay quiet. You were warned to stay focused on the giver, not the gift. There is a danger in falling in love with the blessing and forgetting the blesser. This is the trap of idolatry. When the car is new and the house is beautiful, it is easy to stop praying with the same desperation. It is easy to skip church. It is easy to think, I've got this. That is the moment the enemy waits for. That is when the fall happens. To prevent this, you must anchor yourself in a routine of gratitude that has nothing to do with stuff. You must find your value in who you are in God, not what you have in the bank. If you can be happy with nothing, you are safe to have everything. I want to give you a practical challenge for this week. It's a micro step towards this mindset of abundance. I want you to identify one area of your life where you are leaking energy. Whether it's complaining, gossiping, or worrying about money, and I want you to seal that leak. Replace the complaint with a declaration of gratitude. Replace the gossip with silence. Replace the worry with a plan. Watch how your energy shifts. Watch how you become magnetic to opportunity. Wealth is an energy game. It is attracted to order, to clarity, and to confidence. It is repelled by chaos, confusion, and desperation. As we move toward the conclusion of this truth, understand that God is vindicating you. The people who look down on you will see your elevation, but they won't understand the source. They will call it luck. They will call it coincidence. But you will know it was the hand of God holding you up when you wanted to quit. You will know it was His voice guiding you through the dark valleys, and that knowledge is your secret weapon. It gives you a confidence that is unshakable. So when the money comes, and it is coming, remember, keep your circle tight, keep your mouth closed, keep your hands open to give, and keep your knees bent in prayer. You are breaking a generational curse of poverty and lack. You are the cycle breaker. That is a heavy burden, but you have the strength for it because you are not carrying it alone. The Creator of the universe has signed off on your promotion. Do not fear the envy of others. It is powerless against a blessing that God has commanded. Do not fear the responsibility. You have been trained for this in the fires of adversity. Do not fear the change. It is the pathway to your true self. You are stepping into a season where your reality will finally match your potential. This is your time. The waiting is over. The instruction has been given. Now walk in it. Be the steward you were born to be. Let your results speak so loud that you don't have to say a word. Let your life be the evidence of God's goodness. If you are ready to receive this mantle of wealth and responsibility, I want you to type, "I am ready," in the comments below. Make that declaration in the physical realm. And don't forget to share this video with the one person you know who is also on this journey, your running mate in the spirit. We rise by lifting others. This is not just a video. This is a shift. Walk in your blessing. The world is waiting for who you are about to become. But becoming that person requires navigating a minefield that few talk about. You see, getting the blessing is only stage 1. Keeping it is stage 2. And multiplying it, that is stage 3. And that is where the real spiritual warfare begins. Most people are prepared for the struggle. Very few are prepared for the success. It sounds contradictory, doesn't it? Why would you need to prepare for something good? Because your nervous system, your biology, and your subconscious mind are wired for familiarity, not necessarily for happiness. If you have spent the last 10 or 20 years in survival mode, struggling to pay bills, fighting for recognition, or dealing with toxic relationships, your body has become addicted to the chemicals of stress. Cortisol and adrenaline have been your fuel. So what happens when the breakthrough finally comes? What happens when the money hits the account, the relationship is peaceful, and the career takes off? Your external world changes, but your internal world hits a panic button. It feels unfamiliar. It feels unsafe. This is why you see self-sabotage. This is why 70% of lottery winners end up broke within a few years. It is not a lack of money. It is a lack of capacity. Your internal thermostat is set to struggle. So when the temperature rises to success, your subconscious mind unconsciously turns on the air conditioning to bring you back down to what you know. You might pick a fight with your spouse for no reason. You might overspend on things you don't need. You might procrastinate on the very project that is bringing you wealth. This is the upper limit problem. Before we go any further, I need you to understand that this is not a character flaw. This is biology meeting spirituality. And if you don't learn to regulate your nervous system to hold this new level of blessing, you will repel it. You will pray for rain, but your bucket will have a hole in it. So how do we fix this? How do we expand your capacity to receive? The first step is awareness. You have to catch yourself when you start feeling anxious about things going too well. Have you ever had a great day and then suddenly a thought creeps in? This is too good to be true. Something bad is about to happen. That is the enemy. That is the old programming trying to drag you back to the baseline of fear. When that happens, you must interrupt the pattern. I want you to physically stop what you are doing, take a deep breath, and say out loud, I am safe in this abundance. I am worthy of this peace. This is my new normal. You have to teach your body that safety does not equal struggle. Safety equals God's provision. You are rewiring your brain. You are building new neural pathways that allow you to be comfortable with joy. It takes time, it takes repetition, but it is essential. If you don't do this work, you will be a millionaire with the mindset of a pauper, and you will be miserable. Now let's talk about the second major hurdle you will face as you step into this new season, the isolation of elevation. I touched on this earlier, but we need to go deeper because this is where many people quit. As you grow, you will notice that your conversations change. You are talking about ideas, investments, vision, and legacy. But when you go back to your old circle, they are still talking about people, complaints, and the weekend. You will feel a disconnect. You might even feel guilty, as if you are leaving them behind. Here is the hard truth. You cannot take everyone with you to the mountaintop. The air is too thin up there. Some people's lungs are not conditioned for the altitude of your destiny. If you try to carry them, you will suffocate. This doesn't mean you don't love them. It doesn't mean you judge them. It simply means you must love them from a distance. There is a biblical principle here. Bad company corrupts good character. But in the context of success, it's even more specific. Limited vision corrupts limitless potential. If you are the smartest person in the room, you are in the wrong room. You need to be in a room where you are the least developed, where the conversation challenges you, where people are playing a game so big it scares you. This brings me to a crucial point about the law of association. Your income, your spiritual growth, and your happiness will be the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Look at your phone. Look at your last 5 text messages. Are those people feeding your fear or fueling your faith? Are they draining your energy or recharging your spirit? It is better to walk alone with God for a season than to walk with a crowd that is going in the wrong direction. God often isolates you before he elevates you. If you are in a season of loneliness right now, do not despair. Do not run back to toxic relationships just to fill the void. That void is sacred space. It is where God is downloading the instructions for your next level. Embrace the solitude. It is the incubator of greatness. I want to pause here for a second. If you are feeling this, if you have felt that separation from old friends or that anxiety when things go well, I want you to hit the like button, not for the algorithm, but as a signal to yourself that you are acknowledging this truth. You are not crazy. You are growing. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. We are building a community of cycle breakers here, and you need this daily reinforcement to stay on track. Now let's pivot to the practical side of wealth generation. We have talked about the spirit and the mind. Now let's talk about the mechanics of the harvest. When the financial increase comes, you must have a plan for it. Money is like water. If you don't direct it, it stagnates or flows away. The spiritual law of stewardship says that if you are faithful with a little, you will be ruler over much. But what does faithful look like in the 21st century? It means financial literacy. It is not enough to pray for money, you must learn the language of money. God gives you the seed, but you must learn how to farm. Are you reading books on investing? Do you understand the difference between an asset and a liability? An asset puts money in your pocket, a liability takes money out. The trap of the middle class is buying liabilities that look like assets. Fancy cars, big houses with huge mortgages, designer clothes. These things do not build wealth, they display wealth. True wealth is often quiet. It is the land you own. It is the stocks that pay dividends. It is the business that runs without you. There is a concept I want you to adopt called the king's portion. In ancient times, the first portion of the harvest went to God, that's the tithe. The second portion was for savings and future planting. Only the last portion was for consumption. Today, most people do it backward. They spend first, pay their bills second, and save whatever is left, which is usually nothing. And God gets the leftovers, if anything. You must flip the script. When money comes in, honor God first. This keeps your heart free from greed. Then pay your future self. Invest. Then live on the rest. If you cannot live on the rest, you don't need to make more money yet. You need to manage what you have better. This requires discipline. It requires saying no to immediate gratification so you can say yes to generational freedom. Remember, you are not just building for you. You are building for your children and your children's children. You are changing the last name of your family from a legacy of debt to a legacy of abundance. That is a high calling. It is serious business. Let's go deeper into the vibration of money. Everything in the universe is energy, vibrating at different frequencies. Poverty has a frequency. It sounds like complaining, it feels like fear, and it looks like disorder. Wealth has a frequency. It sounds like gratitude, it feels like confidence, and it looks like order. If your house is messy, your car is dirty, and your wallet is full of old receipts, you are blocking the flow. You are telling the universe, I cannot handle what I have. Clean your space, organize your life. Excellence is the breeding ground for miracles. I challenge you to do an audit of your environment this week. Walk through your home. Does it reflect the future you or the past you? If you have clothes you haven't worn in 2 years, give them away. Create a vacuum. Nature abhors a vacuum. When you clear out the old, you make space for the new. This is a spiritual act. You are signaling to God that you are preparing for the overflow. There is another secret weapon that the wealthy use, often unconsciously, but the spiritually awake use intentionally. The power of the spoken word. The Bible says life and death are in the power of the tongue. You cannot talk about poverty and expect wealth. You cannot talk about sickness and expect health. Stop saying things like, "I'm broke, I can't afford it," or "money is the root of all evil." Those are curses you are placing on your own life. Instead, change your language. Say, "I am currently prioritizing other investments," or "Money is a tool for good and it flows to me easily." This isn't just positive thinking, it is quantum physics. Words are sound waves. Sound waves affect matter. Your words are literally structuring the reality around you. If you could see the spiritual realm, you would see angels standing idle, waiting for you to give them a command consistent with God's will. But instead, you are tying their hands with your complaints. Release the angels of prosperity with your words. Wake up every morning and declare, "Today is a day of opportunity. I am a magnet for divine connections. Resources are looking for me." Watch how your day changes. But be warned, as you start to speak this way and live this way, you will attract attention. Not all of it will be good. We call this the Joseph effect. Joseph was favored by his father and given a coat of many colors. But that favor provoked the jealousy of his brothers. They threw him in a pit. They sold him into slavery. He went to prison. But, and this is the key, the pit, the slavery, and the prison were all necessary transportation to the palace. If you are facing attack right now, if people are lying about you, if you are facing injustice, get excited. It means you are a threat to the kingdom of darkness. It means you are close to the palace. Do not waste your energy. Attention, you need to prepare now. I put together an exclusive resource for those who feel set apart for something greater, but live surrounded by noise, distractions, and mental overload. This is a 30-day journey that will transform your life. A guided path to armor your mind and prepare for what's coming with daily practices of focus, boundaries, and discipline. Stop negotiating with the noise. Learn to spot distractions before they control you. And strengthen your mind. Also available in an immersive audio version. Over 10 Zuzazara readers have already transformed their lives through the 30-day journey. Thousands of people have already started this transformation. People like you who are tired of living in the fog. Ordinary people who decided to stop accepting mental chaos. Take advantage of this limited time offer only this month. Access your link just below in the pinned comment.